A little over a year ago, I uploaded a video called Black Ops 6 Zombies Treyarch Cooked. And while I still stand by that, of course, because Terminus and Liberty Falls were great launch maps, I can't quite say the same about Black Ops 7. Now, don't get me wrong, Ashes of the Damned is not a bad map, and I do like that we have survival finally back so we can play any of these smaller maps as survival maps. That's fine, and I think it's definitely better than having, let's say, Liberty Falls as a full-fledged map instead in survival mode. That's great, and I'm glad that's there. But to me, there's just something off about the mode. I can't quite tell what it is, but something with Black Ops 7 doesn't quite hit that same spark as even the launch of Black Ops 6 did. Of course, this is likely in part to the fact that Black Ops 6 was only a year ago, and the cycle for Black Ops 6 ended at the same time as Black Ops 7 was coming out. So, of course, we have that whiplash from the Black Ops 6 days to Black Ops 7. Naturally, that's probably going to be a factor, and I don't doubt that. I played quite a bit of Black Ops 6 on this channel, and I played quite a bit on my off time as well. So Black Ops 7 being here so early didn't quite make it seem like I want to rapidly touch the new zombie. Now I did, of course, and I did play the beta, but yeah, there wasn't really that I need to play the new zombies, because, well, we just experienced zombies quite a few months ago, and now we're back here with Black Ops 7. Are there quality of life improvements over 6? For sure. And I don't see myself ever going back to Black Ops 6, is what I will say. I'm never going back to that game, so I suppose that's a good sign. Yet, at the same time, I can't really say it's just because of Black Ops 7 that I'm never going to go back to Black Ops 6. As you saw throughout my channel and also the life cycle of Black Ops 6, the game had some of arguably the worst post-launch support to date. I've never seen a game that had such great potential at the beginning just completely squander it, completely toss it away. Even after I changed my mind on Citadel, the rest of the game was still middling at best. And let's not forget that the very end of the game, with the Reckoning, which leads us into Ashes of the Damned, wasn't great either. It was actually quite bad. So now you have this poor taste in my mouth, and that's why I left Black Ops 6. I didn't leave because of the hype for Black Ops 7. I left really just because Black Ops 6 had such poor post-launch that I just left and found other games. This year has been great for other games, especially indie games. So when you have that in the market, and the fact that you're already going to have another game coming out in November, Black Ops 7, which has every quality of life improvement that should have been in 6, you kind of realize, yeah, why should I still stick around when I can just go play other games that I want to check out right now? Okay, that doesn't really apply specifically to just certain Call of Duties, right? Because every year there's going to be great games that you can check out. But particularly with Black Ops 6 and 7, I think the post-launch was so bad and the whiplash was so harsh that, and on top of the fact that Carry Forward was canceled at the last second, that all these factors really made it so that Black Ops 7, not necessarily appealing, just there. It's just, okay, it's Black Ops 6 again, but with every change that you could have added and just chose not to. I think what makes this even worse is that Treyarch allegedly did want to make Black Ops 6 and 7 back-to-back. They asked Activision back in 2020 or around that time that they wanted to make this back-to-back. So if that is the case, I think that makes this even worse just because of that fact, knowing that they're saving content from 6 for 7. The last Call of Duty I bought was Black Ops 6, right? So I'm assuming I'm going to get value for my money and not have that saved for another game that's going to cost another $70. Thank you, PC Game Pass. So that said, I don't think it's too hard to believe that just with all these factors in mind, that it doesn't make it all that appealing for me to pay again for Black Ops 7 or to play it as much as I did with Black Ops 6 the first go around. And not to mention the fact that Black Ops 6 had 4 years behind it, whereas Black Ops 7 really only had one between the games. In between the games, not development time. That's an entirely different topic. That could be an entire other video about development time. That said, though, there was 4 years between Cold War and 6, whereas there's only one between 6 and 7. So really, there is that factor to consider as well as to why Black Ops 7 isn't necessarily the most played or even all that popular to begin with. So what's really wrong with it then? If it's not the post-production, if it's not really anything that's wrong with the game itself, what is it that's causing Black Ops 7 to be so polarizing and to be one of the most, or lack thereof, lackluster Call of Duty games in a long time? It's certainly not because of the quality of life updates. It's certainly not because of these things and actually listening to us for once and removing skill-based matchmaking and all this good stuff. It's certainly not because of these positive moves. Really, I think it's just a cause of too little too late. You see, with Black Ops 6, I think we actually saw a point in Call of Duty where people just flat out had enough and left the game. We haven't seen this since arguably Black Ops 4 and Modern Warfare 2019, where people were just fed up with the post-launch and just straight up left the game. This was especially apparent with, unfortunately, my deepest goat, Black Ops 4. I'm sorry you had to pay the price for Fortnite. With Black Ops 4, people just had enough and went to go play Fortnite. And here we're seeing the same thing with Black Ops 6 and 7. They just had enough and just went to go play other games, either with Battlefield being some steep competition, and I have no doubt actually had some influence in the updates we are seeing, to the other great games we've been getting this year. This year has especially been really good for games. We've been doing really well for the last 3 years, so 2022 to 2025, we've been getting really good games over and over again, so I can imagine that probably does have something to do with people not playing Call of Duty as much, because there's just much better games to play, or at the very least much more interesting games to play at the moment, so that could also be a good reason why. However, it's not just those reasons though. I would imagine that for someone who wants to play Call of Duty, they're probably a casual gamer. They're probably someone who doesn't buy that many games. So you're looking into Black Ops 7 and you see it's $70. Let's say you already spent $70 on Black Ops 6. You are effectively looking at $140, assuming you bought Black Ops 6, for content that you would imagine was probably meant to be for Black Ops 6. How do you think that person feels? How do you think a lot of players feel when it does just seem like, again, Black Ops 6 could have just been a 2.0 patch for Black Ops 7 could have been a patch for Black Ops 6. I say it so many times that you could honestly switch it interchangeably and get the same result. That's how it often feels like when talking about these games in particular. Not because 7 or 6 is significantly inferior or superior to the other, it's just that. It feels like a minor step in a year where you needed to have a big step to get people to care again after Black Ops 6 had such terrible post-launch that people were just done. They were out and they tapped out. For me personally, I've been trying to diverse what games I play, and especially with 2025 having so many damn games to play, that Call of Duty really just comes down to a McDonald's to me. Really, I just play it quickly to get time across, and of course do the Easter eggs and all that stuff, because it's still the mode that got me on this channel, that got me to start making content. It was Call of Duty Zombies, and I'm never going to forget that, and I'm always going to love Treyarch for making this mode, and still continuing this mode. I'm always going to love that. But at this point, and seeing the direction they're taking, and seeing the fact that they are more than willing to make games back to back, even if they could have just made it one complete package to keep people invested for the rest of the season, it just tells me that the mode perhaps just doesn't get the love anymore. This was very apparent with the end of Black Ops 4, but going now into 2025, 2026, it really feels to me that Black Ops 7 is the epitome of all this, of the zombies mode that truly wants to continue, but just isn't allowed to because of corporate, because of Activision, because of behind the scenes development that we will never know the true ins and out of, because of all these outside factors and the gaming environment that's always changing. Never mind the fact that prices have gone up significantly, which could also contribute. There's just a whole swirl of a mess surrounding Black Ops 7, and really, it's not necessarily its fault. I've said that throughout this video. A lot of this isn't Black Ops 7's fault. It's really just a result and what created Black Ops 7 that led to this mess in the first place, and really could have been avoided had we been able to get any sort of break instead of the constant yearly Call of Duty games. So really, Black Ops 7, it's not necessarily your fault, okay? It's not your fault for existing, it's just a fatigue. It's just that people are done. We are done. Most people are just done with seeing very little in response to overwhelming demand for change. Black Ops 6 was popular at release. It did have a good launch, similar to Black Ops 7. However, Black Ops 6 didn't change. It just kept its pace and ultimately sank into being considered one of the worst post-launch releases of all time. Right up there with Modern Warfare 2 and Vanguard in terms of post-launch release support. There's just nothing really there. And that's what killed Black Ops 6, and what may kill Black Ops 7 before it even starts, before people even give it a chance, just because of all that bad will and lack of response from Activision, from the team, until it was too late. And that's what Black Ops 7 now has to cross as it starts its life cycle into the next year. So hopefully that does clear up what is really wrong with Black Ops 7. It's just the result of a really shitty situation. That all said, if you guys enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe. I could always use a new addition to the Dark Ops army. And let me know in the comments below if you feel the same way, or if you think Black Ops 7 is way better than you expected, or if you think that really just feels like a 2.0 update to Black Ops 6. Let me know in the comments below. But thank you guys so much for watching. This is Dark Ops. I'll see you guys next time.